All right, now, in fact, I was just saying that I was in the Northwest this past weekend, and I must say, I've been in a lot of game reserves lately, and one of the trends that I've been noticing is that most of the rhinos have actually been dehorned, but these are particularly in the private game reserves where they have tackled poaching head-on and decided to dehorn rhinos. But focusing in on the Northwest, the poaching of wildlife has now reached alarming proportions. Poachers mostly use wire snares to trap animals. Farmers are losing hundreds of thousands of rands monthly.
Lucky to have survived. This leopard, about 5 years old, was found trapped in a snare. Not an unfamiliar sight to the owners of Nonen Farm in Setlagole near Mahikeng. With the help of the Northwest Parks and Tourism Board, the animals are rescued and taken to a place of safety.
This is the second leopard, or something that in relation to that. So we believe it could be rife, because the area is quite vast, and it is a good habitat for leopards.
Farmers not only lose their animals, fences are also torn down and damaged.
We basically are doing our own physical security around the property. People are, especially from the local communities, are breaking through our fencing, the back part of the farm. And if we were to look at that, you'll see that they are tearing pieces all the fencing around in order to gain access.
Poaching is said to be rife across the province.
Farm owners at the Omega Game and Safari Lodge, just 20 kilometers away from Nonen Farm, suffer the same fate every now and then, costing them thousands of rand worth of game every month.
Here, snares can be found at every turn, and it seems poachers are always a step ahead.
It's really a tough sort of situation that we have to deal with every now and then, more especially when it's a full moon. The nightmare worsens. Now you can't be all over the show. This farm is about 6,500 hectares, and this is a busy season. We hunt and we can't keep up with these poachers.
Both farm managers point a finger to neighboring communities who they believe are responsible for putting up the snares. Olebogeng Khosilenzwe, SABC News, Mahikeng.
Yeah, well, as you can see there, poaching is a big problem in most provinces around South Africa, and it isn't necessarily something that we focus on too much. I suppose we talk a lot about rhino poaching, but there are many other animals that also do get poaching. You know, before I linked to this insert, I was talking a little bit about the poaching of rhinos and some of the different things that are being done to try and curb it. Well, the dehorning of rhino, whether you are a fan of it or not, I've noticed that from my travels this year to most of the private game reserves, you've seen a lot of them being dehorned. Please tell me about your experiences. Have you noticed this as well, where they just take in the precaution? They would rather dehorn their rhino than lose their rhinos. So of all of them, it's quite incredible to have seen the amount of rhinos. And you know, one of the things that whether you do or don't know is that the rhino's horn actually does grow back. So they dehorn the rhino, but the rhino then, of course, does have this horn does grow back. So it's quite an incredible process. I mean, when one says, the rhino horn is mostly made up of hair. So, you know, it's something that does happen. But I want to show you this photograph. A friend of mine who is a ranger, and he's gone out a lot on these things, and they are hired by most of the companies to go in and dehorn the rhinos. It's a very emotional process for a ranger. They don't want to do this, but they also don't want to see these little rhinos being killed. So have a look at this, though. I'm going to try and ask the camera to zoom in onto that. Look at this photograph. It is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen, that when you dehorn a rhino, that is what you find inside. This photo has not been manipulated at all. That's exactly what it is. You find a heart inside of a rhino horn. Is that not beautiful? It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing. Well, I'm not too sure if it's the color. My producer's asking me about the colors, but perhaps the colors have been changed a little bit. But that really is something that is so amazing. In fact, I actually posted this photograph, and then our reporter in the Eastern Cape, Janine Lee, she said to me, hang on a second, that's absolutely true, because the last time she went out, and she actually went on the rhino poaching mission that they had, where they went to go and dehorn the rhinos, she had the exact same experience. And I'm going to quickly find you her photograph that she sent me, and here you go. This is Janine Lee's experience of going out rhino poaching, and there you have it. That's the rhino that they dehorned while they were out, and she was recording it for television, and inside that rhino horn was another heart. Beautiful, isn't it? So thanks so much to Janine Lee for sending us that photograph and chatting as well. Something we need to look at a lot closer is this issue of dehorning and poaching as well.